Hello everyone, this is Lalita Singh and you are going to study science with me in class 8. Today we are discussing our 12th chapter that is called friction. This is our second video on this topic. In the last video we have talked about friction, causes of friction, types of friction, and about factors that affect friction, about friction as an evil and necessary force, and about how to increase or decrease the friction. We know that to increase the friction we need to make the surface rough, okay, and we can also increase the mass of the object. Next is how to reduce the friction. Reducing friction can be done by smoothening the surface, which is done with the help of lubricant, using ball bearing, which is also done with the help of powder, or polishing the surface. Next is fluid friction. Okay, friction in fluid. Any substances that can flow is known as fluid. Since all the gas and liquid can flow, they are all are known as fluid. But do you think that these fluid exert any kind of friction? Just put your hand to understand it more. In water, just take one bucket of full of water and then put your hand inside the water and try to move your hand. You will feel the resistance while moving your hand in the water. So liquid also does exert friction on the moving object. In the same manner, if you are moving through air in a bus, you will feel the air is hitting on your face or in your body, right? So air is also exerting friction. It means the fluid exert friction. The friction exerted by a fluid is known as drag. Understood? See over here. To understand it more, we have to perform activity number 5 first. In activity number 5, we have taken a sheet of newspaper. Now, we will hold 1/4 of this sheet of newspaper in front of our face and we will drop it without applying any force. Okay, if you are standing on a height, then it will be good to absorb. Okay, you will observe that the paper is not directly falling on the ground, but it is swaying side by side. But if you are dropping a ball, the same paper, by crumbling it in the form of ball, it will fall directly on the ground. It will also receive drag, but what happened, the paper was having large surface area in comparison to ball, so the paper feel more drag. Understand? Now in activity 6, we are about to show that water or liquid also exert friction. For that we need a coil, we need a table and water. See over here. We will put the coin on the table. Okay, we will put the coin on the table and we will slide the coil. Okay, the coil move smoothly on the dry tabletop. But after that, we will spill half a teaspoon of water on the tabletop and put the coin over it and hit it again. You will see after traveling some distance, that coin will get stopped because water is exerting friction. Okay, like liquid and gases, both of them are exerting friction on the body which is moving through them. Okay, object we need to move through liquid or gases, they acquire a special shape to overcome the drag. That special shape is known as streamline shape. Okay, to reduce the difficulty caused by drag, the object should have a shape calling streamline shape. See over here, this bird is acquiring this streamline shape. This fish is also having a streamline shape. This jet fighter plane is also having streamline shape, and this rocket is also having a streamline shape. Means whenever we see an object which is smoothly moving through the fluid, they should have a streamline shape. Clear? Fishes, birds, any natural things that is moving through the air or water, they are all having somehow streamline shape. Even if a diver is trying to dive inside the water, they acquire streamline shape by pulling their both of the hand on top of their head. Clear? So this is all about the chapter. Next we will discuss the question answer related to this topic. Okay, so the first one is checkpoint 1. See where it is given, true or false. Friction opposes the movement of an object. It is true. Second question, only rough surface have irregularity. No, it is false. Third, sliding friction keep an object moving. Yes, it is true. Fourth question, friction depend upon the nature of two surfaces in contact. Yes, it is true as well. Now see checkpoint 2. See here, answer in one word. A force responsible for holding an object in its place. It is static friction. Second, a material used to reduce friction is known as lubricant. Third question, a device in vehicle used to reduce friction, ball bearing. Fourth, a thing used to move striker and coin smoothly on carom, it is talcum powder. Now fifth one is the process giving a smooth finishing to the surface is known as polishing. Now next one at checkpoint number 3. First question of this is all gases and liquid can flow, called fluid. Answer is fluid. Second question, an object with large surface area will experience more drag or friction. Okay, third question, bird and fishes move easily because their bodies streamline shape. Okay, the answer is streamline. Now, A section. Tick the correct answer. Which of the following is called the essence of friction? It is adhesion. Adhesion is called essence of friction. Now, second question. What dampens the energy of a rolling ball? It is friction. Friction which causes the rolling ball to stop. So option A is the correct answer for 2. Now third, we are advised to walk carefully on wet floor because wet floor offer less friction. So option A is the correct one. Now fourth question, to increase friction we use uneven surface. If we are in need of increase the friction, like when we are holding the vehicle handle, over there we use uneven surface to increase the friction. Okay, now fifth number question, what is done for the smoother movement of carom coin on carom board? Talcum powder is applied. Option C is the correct answer. Okay, now say true or false. First question, friction is an evil for all motion. It is true because it reduces the speed and make the object stop. Second, the nature of surface does not affect friction. It is false. Nature of surface always affect friction. The rougher the surface, more will be the friction. The smoother the surface, less will be the friction. Now third question, friction is measured using a spring balance. Yes, it is true. Fourth question, lubrication is done to increase friction. No, lubrication is done to decrease friction. So it is false. Fifth question, gases and liquid also exert friction on a body moving through them. Yes, it is true. Next question, very short answer type of question C. Okay, first C1. What causes a rolling ball to stop? Friction causes a rolling ball to stop. Okay, second question. What causes friction? Interlocking between the rough edges of two surfaces causes friction. Okay, what does causes friction? Interlocking between the rough edges of two surfaces causes friction. Third question, name the force required to continue moving of an object. It is called sliding friction. Okay, fourth number, what should you use to measure friction approximately? We should use spring balance to measure the friction approximately. Fifth question, name at least two lubricant. It can be oil, it can be graphite or grease. Okay, next is short answer type of question. How does friction opposes motion? Give one example. Friction opposes motion by forming interlocking between the rough edges of two surfaces. For example, a moving ball gets stopped after traveling some distance. Okay, second question, what are the advantage of friction? Friction make us able to hold the object or walk on the surface. It also help to stay standing on the surface without falling or slipping down. Okay, so it is very important because friction provides us chance to make gripping between the two surfaces. Okay, next is, why do we need to increase friction sometime? We need to increase friction sometime to have better control of motion. Okay, next is 4, what is ball bearing? Ball bearing is given in the book. See over here. To minimize friction between two parts of machine where one of them is in circular motion, you can see second line of using ball and roller bearing to minimize the friction between two parts where one of them is in circular motion. Small metallic balls or cylinders are kept between them in well designed slots. The system of metal ball in their sockets is known as ball bearing. Now next question. Why does a ship is having streamline shape? A ship is having streamline shape to overcome the drag or to reduce the effect of drag. Now next question, what are the factors that affect friction? Give one example of each. Okay, about the factor that is going to affect the friction. See over here. In page number 156, the factor that affect friction force are as follow. See over here, the first one is nature of the surface in contact. The second one is mass of the sliding object. Example of first one, that is nature of surface in contact, should be written from the conclusion part of activity number 2. The ball travel the smallest distance on pebble, thus the surface offer maximum friction. The ball travel the longest distance on plane surface, thus the plane surface offer minimum friction. So we can say that the nature of surface is very important for friction to cause. Now next was what? Mass of the sliding object. Okay, mass of the sliding object. For that you will write that if we are keep on adding books on the table and we will try to drag these books, we need to apply more force. Okay, if there is only one book on the table, then it is very easy to push or pull it, right? And if we are having 5 or 10 books together, then obviously we will face more problem while pulling or pushing it, because we need to apply more force to overcome the gripping between the two surfaces. So we can say that mass of an object also does affect the friction. Now next question. What is the importance of friction in our life? Okay, second number question, importance of friction in our life. See over here, friction importance is given. Friction is useful for many of our daily activity. Friction between the feet and ground help us to walk on the ground. It is possible to write with the pen or pencil on the paper due to friction between the pen and pencil. It is possible to write on blackboard due to the friction between chalk and blackboard. Okay, it is easy to run the vehicle on the road because of the roughness present on the wheels and the road, or because of the friction which is caused between the road and the wheel, etc. Now next question, what are the way used to reduce friction? Okay, what are the way used to reduce friction? The answer is given in page number 159 from lubrication. Okay, the ways to reduce friction are, you will write it like this, the ways of reducing the friction are, first one is lubrication. Okay, Material like oil, grease or graphite used to reduce friction are called lubricant, and the process is called lubrication. The oil used for lubrication is called machine oil. Alright. Next is use of ball bearing. Ball bearing convert the sliding friction into rolling friction, hence minimize the friction. Understood? Next is using powder. Talcum powder, when used on the carom board, the talcum powder form a layer on both of the surface and cover the rough edges of the two surface, and in this way it reduces friction. You will write it from like this. A fine powder is used, second line, just see over here, second line. A fine powder is used in some of the machinery to reduce friction. Powder form a layer between the moving part so that they do not rub against each other, and the friction between them it minimizes. Then polishing, you will write everything about polishing. Now next is, how will you show that fluid exert friction on a body? Fluid exert friction on a body. This can be shown with the activity number 6. You will write the activity number 6 for answer. Next question. Why are handle of your motorcycle covered with the rubber sheet having spikes on it? Okay, handles of motorcycles are covered with the rubber sheet having spikes over it, so that it can increase the gripping between the hand and the handle, so that the friction will be more. Okay, now next question. Why does a drop of water stick to the surface of glass? Because the drop of water stick to the surface of glass because the glass is having micro unevenness. Okay, and this unevenness is filled with the droplet of water. Okay, when you are putting the glass, due to gravity, these droplet of water getting pulled down at the bottom of the glass and they get collected over there. Now next is, why does you rub your hand together in chill morning? We rub our hand together in chill morning because by rubbing we overcome friction again and again between the two palms. Okay, and friction causes the muscular energy to change into heat energy, which give us little bit comfort during the cold of winter season. In this way we can feel comfortable. Clear? So this is all about question answer of the chapter. In our next video we will talk about next chapter. Until then, have a nice day everyone.